Hi folks, Will at LR Workshop. I had vibrations through my steering wheel at about 60 miles an hour for a long time, and as well I had a slight shake in the body at high speed. I knew the tyres were a big cause as the shakes would disappear when I had the wheels balanced, but it never lasted for that long, but the vibration through the body of the vehicle would usually remain. I replaced every bush in the vehicle, I rebuilt the front swivels, nothing made a difference. I would rotate and measure my tyre depths now and in periods where I was commuting long distances regularly, I would measure the tyre tread every few months. Normally, the treads would drop a millimetre or so every year. So imagine, to my horror, when the tread depth dropped 2 millimetres in a month. It would turn out that I had discovered a surreptitious problem that had been hidden in plain sight for years. Let's take a look at the tyre in question as I inspect it through a full rotation, and watch out for the tread on the inner edge. Not only is the tyre worn more on its inner edge than its outer edge, which I already knew and had been monitoring for years, but it's also worn to different depths around its circumference. This is known as static imbalance, and it makes the wheel oscillate up and down as you drive, and that is known as wheel tramp. Now, I would take the depth measurements at different points on the tyre when I measure the tyres, but probably only between the 10 o'clock and the 2 o'clock positions within the wheel arch. I wouldn't have said that this could happen up until the point that I saw it and filmed it with my own eyes just to confirm how localised this problem can be. This patch is less than 30 centimetres in length on a tyre circumference of 250 centimetres, so that's just over 10% of the tyre. So I guess I missed it in all those years when I was measuring the tyre depths. Plus, I've been doing more mileage in the later years of these tyres' life, so at that point the difference was becoming more exaggerated. Ultimately, this was caused by setting the tow out to an extreme value back when I bought the new tyres and had them fitted, and then I used the string method by following a guide online to set the wheel in alignment, but I got it completely wrong. I think there were fundamentals to this method that I didn't take into account and didn't really appreciate. So I think the tow out was about 8 millimetres when I finally fixed the issue, and I set it to 2 millimetres, which is what it should be, using the curtain pole method, measuring the difference between the inboard distance of the wheel rims at the front and the rear. So you use a curtain pole, you extend it between the wheel rim at the back, then you mark the curtain pole and then measure the front side of the rims and then make sure the difference is 2 millimetres, there's 2 millimetres longer on the front. So why didn't I take it to have the wheel alignment done at a garage? I did multiple times when I went to have the wheels balanced, and every time they said, sorry mate, the track rod's rusty, it can't be adjusted. So when I finally replaced the track rod with a new one, I took my vehicle along and they said, oh sorry mate, it's too old. Even though my 1997 vehicle is identical geometry to a 2016 Defender, they said they couldn't do it. After that, that's when I did the curtain pole method, and then after that I had it independently verified by a different garage, and they confirmed that the wheel alignment was within tolerance. So the solution was new tyres, because I'd ruined the originals and they were getting to the end of their life anyway. Subsequently, the wheel tramp completely disappeared, and so did the vibration in the steering and the body. I'd say that there's more to tyres than meets the eye. If you do a cursory Googling of Tyre Wear charts, it'll bring up some basic scenarios. Some of the scenarios are more typical for vehicles that have adjustable camber, but none of them explain that there's potential to have asymmetric tyre wear only in one spot around the circumference of the tyre. I think it's easy to get sucked in with tyres to think everything's fine and that there's a problem elsewhere in the system, like preloads on the swivel bearings or bushes, because they can be the problem. But I think there's a reluctance to think of tyres as the problem because they're so blooming expensive. So there's one thing potentially to check there if you're getting vibration through your steering. This all applies to tarmac. When we look at and think about tyre wear, it all applies to tarmac really, because if you're running tyres constantly off-road, gravel roads, what have you, at high temperatures, it doesn't really matter about tyre wears, because whatever tyre you fit, no matter what brand, they're all going to get trashed within 18 months. That's just the reality. I hope this video has given you a bit of an insight if you're facing similar problems. Let me know in the comments if you've had similar tyre wear on your vehicles in the past. Subscribe for more Land Rover videos in the future. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.